Students, I wish you all a very happy morning and welcome you to today's class of English. Today, we will go through the chapter verbs, which is the fifth chapter of your grammar book, Grammar Right. The previous day, we have gone through half of the chapters and we have learnt about verbs, kinds of verbs, that is regular and irregular verbs, and we have also known about finite and non-finite verbs, and in non-finite verbs we have learnt about the infinitives, gerunds and participles, and we have also came to know that there are infinitive to and bare infinitives also. And we have also done a few exercises. Some were solved for you. I hope you have understood the exercises. Now today we will do the rest of the chapter, the rest of the things which are there in your chapter. And we will also know about phrasal verbs today and complements also, that is subject complement and object complement of a verb. Let us see the topics. Look at your book on page number 37. If you could see that there are phrasal verbs. The definition of phrasal verb is it is formed by adding a preposition or an adverb to a verb which has a meaning different from that of the original verb. Phrasal verbs are sometimes difficult to understand for some students because their meaning is different from the original verb. Suppose if we take the phrasal verb as break means to make pieces of something, but when we talk about break into, it means that entering somebody's house with the purpose of stealing. Then get in, sometimes get in we mean that to go inside somebody's house, but get in means get in the matter of somebody's or something. Lot of phrasal verbs are there which are very interesting and people love to use them while writing article, essay, compositions. They give a very good meaning or shape to the writing, the use of phrasal verbs. And we will also know about complements, that is subject and object complements. So let us see. So we have understood that phrasal verbs are those verbs which are added by a preposition or an adverb and giving a different meaning. Here it is given prepositions or adverbs used in phrasal verbs can be out, down, off, up, into, for, back, over, away, in and on. These are the main adverbs, you could say, or prepositions which can go with the other verbs and give the shape of phrasal verbs. Here is one exercise, that is exercise I, which I have solved for you, but you can also try it by adding that which all prepositions or the adverbs will go with these verbs, that is lay, keep, get, all these words I have I have written, but you can also try your own. Then we have complement of a verb. Complement means, suppose a simple sentence, the boy ate. So if we say the boy ate, here the sentence can be finished. It is having an intransitive verb, that is ate, because after ate it is not written that what did the boy eat. So it is the verb is intransitive because there is no object after the verb. So if there is an object added after it which will be not a noun, some other words like other parts of speech like adverbs or adjectives or some other group of verb which completes the meaning, could be taken as complements. And since there are two kinds of complements, that is subject complement and object complement, we all know that the subject is always placed before a verb and object is always placed after a verb. So we have to see that the additional words which are used as complements are meant for the subject or the object. If those words will be for the subject, it will be subject complement, and if they are complementing the object, if those words are used for the object, then it will be object complement. So as we know that a complement that tells us something more about the subject is subject complement, and object complement tells us something about the object is an object complement. Okay. So it is a group of words that is needed to complete the meaning. It is always used to make the sentence meaningful. Okay, so let us see something more. Here in this sentence says, your school is right next to my office building. Here, right next to the office building is the complement, because it tells the direction of the school. So the phrase right near to my office building is the subject complement. It tells us something about the subject, your school. Okay, so here a complement tells us something more about the subject is the subject complement, as we know. So in this sentence, Jenny made Julian happy. Here in this sentence, Jenny is the subject and Julian is the object, because Jenny is placed before the verb made and Julian is placed after the verb made. So the word happy is for Julian, because Jenny is making Julian happy. So the word happy is for Julian. So here the verb made is used transitively. Why transitively? Because after made, Julian is there, and we have learnt in this case, transitive and intransitive verb, that if the object is a person, that is an indirect object, and if it is a thing, so that will be direct object. So Julian will be indirect object here, and it has an object, that is Julian, but the meaning is partial. We need the adjective happy to complete the meaning. Therefore it acts as the object complement, because the word happy is used for Julian. Okay, although the action word is done by Jenny, but Julian was made happy. So since the happiness goes to Julian, so the additional word happy is for Julian, so it will be object complement. Here in the exercise, okay, one more point is written: an object complement can be a noun, an adjective, an adverb, or an adverb phrase. These points you have to know. Here, identify the complement of the verbs in these sentences. So it has been done for you. If you wish, you have to underline those group of words which are used after the verb. And if after the verb, if the verb is intransitive, suppose in number 1, Tina played for 2 hours continuously. After played, there is no object given, no noun is there, no pronoun is there, so it is an intransitive verb. So you can take the underline the words, group of words which are used just after played. But when there is an object, second one, we all consider her deserving. Her as an object is mentioned here. After consider, her is there, which is an object. So you will not take her as the complement, you will take deserving only. I hope you have understood. Similarly, at the end also, the policeman found him guilty. Here the policeman is subject, found is the verb, and him is the object. So you will underline guilty only as the complement of the verb. Use subject or object complement to make 6 sentences of your own in your notebook. This you can do yourself also. Later on, if you feel difficulty, I will help you. Now, combine these sentences using infinitives. Rewrite the infinitive. We have done infinitive 2. So, this also I have done for you. The first sentence, every team should have a captain. He should give directions to other players. You have to place the word to and the verb form in such a way that it should be meaningful. So every team should have a captain to give directions to other players. You have to see that just after to the base verb will be there. Here number 2, he is very strong. He will win the wrestling tournament this year. This is called adverb to. So when this kind of sentences will be there, so very is going to be changed into to, T-O-O-2, and then we will use to again. So he is too strong to win the wrestling tournament. This is a bit new for you. So you'll go through the exercise very well so that you can. Last one, you see, last one. She has 3 little kids. She looks after them. The entire second part will be changed. She has 3 little kids to look after. Then we will not write because little kids is already mentioning in our answer. Okay. So I hope you will understand by this narration. Now B. Underline the verbs in these sentences, and then you have to use gerund, G for gerund, although I have written full so that you can understand, I for infinitives, and P for participles. Now how to understand, you have to see generally, for your convenience I'm telling, when ing words or when the base verb plus ing is used in the beginning, or the third form of the verb is used in the beginning, so that will be considered as participles, and generally in those sentences 2 verbs are given. Suppose question number 4, seeing the bright sunshine he opened the window. Seeing is also there, opened is also there, so these will be considered as participles. Then we have infinitive to, like third number, second and third number. It is better to forget. To forget is infinitive to. It is impossible to get. Again to is there before the base verb, that is get. So these are infinitive to. Now he is fond of writing letters. If we say he is fond of storybooks, so storybooks are nouns. So here writing will be noun. So gerund. Okay. So the exercise is given. If you feel, suppose question number 6, a burnt child dreads the fire. Here burnt, the word burnt is the third form of verb, which is the quality of the child which is burnt. Okay, the child who is burnt. So when when a third form of the verb is qualifying a noun, that is considered as participle. Okay, so we will write participle over here. Just go through the answers, then if you have any trouble I will help you. Underline the gerunds in the given sentences. So gerunds are generally the base verb plus ing words which will not have helping verb before them, and they act as nouns. So she is fond of cooking new dishes. Writing short stories is her hobby. I told when while teaching gerund that if is, am, are, was, were, will be, shall be, will be written after a noun, that will be considered as gerund. So here writing will be gerund. Admiring, after admiring again is there in third number, so it will be gerund. Hunting animals, again is there, so hunting will be gerund. He has stopped mixing with strangers. Here again mixing is there, which is not meant for verb or adjective, so it will be gerund. And the first one also, she is fond of cooking new dishes, that we have already done in the previous exercises also. Okay, now next one, rewrite the sentences by changing the participle into finite verb. This will be a bit complicated for you, so I have solved it. I'll send you. What you have to do here, you have to change the non-finite verbs into finite verbs. Getting, encourage, hearing, being, hearing, mounting, holding, watering, all these are non-finite verbs. You have to write the sentence in such a way that all these non-finite verbs will turn into the finite verbs. Finite verbs are those verbs which changes their forms according to the number of the subject or tense of the verb. So suppose for example, getting back home from a long journey, he met his friend. So they could say that he met his friend after he got back from the long journey. So this got could be getting, got, has got. So many forms could be there. So getting will be now when we have changed the sentence is no more a non-finite verb, it will be finite. Similarly, fourth number, being hardworking, he is sure to achieve his goal. If we write the sentence in this way, he is sure to achieve his goal as he works hard. As he works hard. At the place of being hard working, you write as he works hard. So this works hard could be working hard, has worked hard, many forms could be there. So when I'll send you the answers now, if you'll go through them, you will understand that how we can change non-finite verb to finite verb. These are important. Now underline the verbs in these sentences and circle the subject and object complements. As we have learned today that these complements are to make the sentence meaningful. So in Shahnaz is head, this sentence could have a complement or may not have, because the main verb is not mentioned here, but still I have underlined is, and of the student council, because Shahnaz is head, but it has to be mentioned that she is head of what. So head of the student council. Similarly, second one, calls, the verb calls will be underlined, and then after calls, her pet parrot is the adverb. Dear students, I would like to restart the exercise, that is exercise E of page number 40, that is underline the verbs in these sentences and circle the subject and object complements. Here, the number one, Shahnaz is head of the student council. Here, is underlined as a helping verb because there is no main verb here, and it is written Shahnaz is head, but it has to be mentioned that she is the head of what. So she is the head of the students council. So this is the complement for Shahnaz. So it is encircled. Similarly, Ria calls her pet parrot Tia. Here Ria is the subject, her pet parrot is the object, calls is the verb, and it has to be mentioned extra thing which has explained the pet parrot, that is the name Tia. So Tia is encircled. She finished her lunch in the kitchen. She finished her lunch could here the sentence could have ended, but to enhance its meaning, in the kitchen is mentioned, so it will be encircled. So and also you have to mention that I'll mention later on in the PDF, that it is subject complement or object complement when I'll send you the PDF. The dress is of no use. So dress is the helping verb, of no use is about the dress, the extra thing, although here the main verb is not mentioned. The employees found the policy confusing. Here the policy is the object which is confusing. So it is the thing which has been mentioned about the policy. So this way all the 10 questions are solved. So you'll go through it, understand it in a better way, and then only you'll copy down them. Exercise F, use these phrasal verbs in sentences of your own. I think you can try it up. Remember, the phrasal verbs have a different meaning than the verb itself. Suppose get has a different meaning, but get into is of different meaning. Cheer is a different meaning. Cheer up has a different meaning. So take care of this, and then only suppose figure out. Figure means an image. Figure out means find out. Figure out the thing. Figure out the number, like that. So I hope you will try this exercise. Comprehension passage is there, which is a bit difficult to teach online or in video. So I think you are not in the habit nowadays to do the exercises of comprehension passages. So when the comprehension passage is given at the back of the exercises lessons, kindly do it yourself. So read the passage very carefully and then give the answer of the questions asked. So these two are the homework. I hope you will do, and I hope you have understood the chapter. We will take another day to explain this chapter. I will take one more day so that you can know very well in a better way about gerund, participle and infinitives. So kindly go through the video very carefully, see the answers and understand them, and then only you copy down them in the copy and book. Dear students, we are crossing through a bad time now, but we have learned that how to fight against this situation by following all the protocols of the government. We are maintaining everything. We are having healthy food also, and we are trying to keep ourselves immune. You are growing We are growing our immunity also, and we are also taking care of each other. You people are taking care of your elders and juniors, because and we will be successful to get rid of this trouble, because problems never stay long. They just put the signature in the experience book of your life and move away. Have a nice day, students. Thank you.